Our victories have multiplied, our bond not so.
Assassin's Creed Origins was a departure for the series, moving away from linearly constructed storytelling and instead opting for an open-world RPG model. While the shift in gameplay was considerable, the conclusion of Origins is likely the most affecting and emotionally charged across the entire franchise. It's not a matter of checking names off a list of murders, it's about ideals shattered, an order established, and the awful personal toll of having to struggle to create a better world. Origin's success fundamentally lies in the relationship between Bayek and Aya. The shared loss of their son Camus drives their original motivation to take revenge upon what they feel to be responsible parties. We see their unshakable commitment to one another, their hot-headed dedication, and their frantic need to make amends for the injustice perpetrated against them. But as things go on, things start to crack. Their different methods of dealing with justice, Bayek's leaning towards clemency, and Aya's towards hard-nosed pragmatism, start to drive an ever-growing gap between them. The game properly illustrates their disenchantment with the Magi and powerful order of the Ancients. A personal revenge issue to start turns into combating a system of corruption and manipulation that hangs over the head of all of Egypt. They find that the perpetrators they believed killed Camus were actually pawns in an even larger game, one which was controlled by individuals with much darker motivations. This epiphany compels Bayek and Aya to reevaluate their priorities. The answer isn't a heroic triumph over evil. Rather, it's a brutal acknowledgement that their individual pursuit of vengeance has evolved into something greater and more complicated. They realize that they need a new type of force, one that's committed to defending the innocent and combating the darkness that's driving things. The cinematic's final, in which Bayek symbolically freed the soul of Camus, is an emotional moment of closure. It represents that he has finally come to terms with his loss and realized that he could not revive his son. It also represents the birth of the Hidden Ones who would eventually become the Assassin Brotherhood. Bayek and Aya, now Amunet, pledge to spend their lives avenging justice, even if it means at the expense of their own happiness. But the real emotional punch comes with the last confrontation of Bayek and Aya. They both still love each other, but the gap of ideology and what has happened to them has driven them apart. They can see that their way is diverging, that their differing duties in this initial struggle for liberty mean that they will be forced into an agonizing decision. This is not a happily ever after. It's a look at the tough decisions leaders have to make, the cost they pay, and the way war and loss can tear apart even the strongest of ties. It's a reminder of the weight of responsibility and the steadfast hope for a better day, no matter how expensive that day turns out to be. In the end, the conclusion of Assassin's Creed Origins succeeds because it resists the generic video game paradigm of good versus evil. It's a love story, loss, and tough choices we must face when we're battling what we know to be right. It lays the groundwork for the Assassin Brotherhood, but more importantly, it leaves one with a haunting feeling of both hope and lasting sorrow, and it is truly an unforgettable and poignant conclusion. It reminds one that even in the shadows, the fight for justice is costly, and that the path to a better world is paved with broken hearts and unbreakable will. Assassin's Creed has been all about freedom, secret blades, and going against tyranny since day one. But why did it arrive at that to begin with? Assassin's Creed Origins, based in the stunningly imagined and politically stormy world of ancient Egypt, tells us how it all happened for good and for all. Not a prequel, a creation story. A gripping yarn of how the Assassin Brotherhood, the outfit we've grown to love, or perhaps question, came into being in the first place. The ancient Egyptian world of Origins is not just a pretty face. It's a world on the edge, hanging precariously between the waning glory of the pharaohs and the looming shadow of the Roman Empire. Cleopatra's precarious balancing act, caught between Julius Caesar and her own desires, sets up an intricate situation full of political intrigue and betrayal. This anarchy is the perfect fit with the game's themes. It displays the value of fighting against wrong, even in opposition to huge amounts of power. It demonstrates the way that corruption can take root and consume even the greatest empires, and the way it reinforces the importance of the populace revolting against tyranny no matter the consequences. Origins brings to mind a refreshing vision of the Assassin Brotherhood. It places in our minds that the creed was not passed down on stone tablets. It was created in answer to a need through the crucible of tragedy and insurrection. We are privy to the flaws and the pain of growing up, the blunders committed, and the ideals refined. This makes the Brotherhood and the fight against the Templars more familiar and real than ever. Assassin's Creed Origins is not only an excellent Assassin's Creed game, it's an excellent story. It's a story of loss, revenge, and the origin of an idea. It's a testament to the strength of individual agency and the value of fighting for what you believe in. Returning us to the origins of the Brotherhood, Ubisoft not only added depth to the Assassin's Creed universe, but also infused new life into the franchise as a whole. It's a game that reminds us of what initially attracted us to the series, the promise of freedom, the fight against oppression, and the enduring belief in humanity's ability to change the world despite the odds. The seed of the Assassin Brotherhood was planted in Egyptian dunes, and their heritage lives on throughout the ages. The game has a significant impact on the Assassin's Creed franchise. Not only does it provide a solid groundwork for the lore of the series, but it also enriches our understanding of the Templar-Assassin conflict. By experiencing the origins of the Brotherhood, players better understand the ideals and sacrifices that continue to drive the Assassins in subsequent games. Assassin's Creed Origins lets us see history unfold before our very eyes, providing a thrilling and enlightening look at the formation of one of the most legendary gaming institutions, the Assassin Brotherhood. It's an experience that lingers with players long after the credits have rolled, reminding us of the timeless nature of justice and the need to struggle for a better world, no matter how dark the shadows may grow.
I don't want to go home by myself. I'm scared.
Should we take him to the Bureau?
No. I'll take you home.
Let nothing grieve you beyond measure, for your life is short and time will claim its toll. But I am no longer who I was. I have renounced all love I once had. I have renounced Aya. I have killed Aya. I am now the Hidden One, known as Amunet. May your victories multiply.